talked about the doctor part, but let's talk about the teacher part, because you also teach hip hop. Well, you got a
I was
class
teaching
about
regular
hip-hop?
subjects. It's just that I'm a hip hop guy. So like last year, I stepped into the classroom, not on the college campus because I've done that, but I went to an alternative high school. Like one of my homeboys out here in Houston was a principal. And there's a teacher shortage going on in Houston. And he was calling me to see if I knew anybody that wanted to jump in the classroom because they was letting people come in there with no certification, all that. But I got a PhD. And I was like, yo, and I used to teach high school. I was like, bro, I teach. He was like, oh, that's right. You want to jump in the classroom? I was like, yo, I'll do it for a year, man. You know what I'm saying? So I jumped into a situation at like I said, an alternative school. The kids with the ankle monitors, like one step away from juvie, like those kids, where it's like the last place they got to go before they get put in, like that school. That's what I was teaching. I was teaching English literature, even though like my subject is like history and stuff like that. But I can teach English. I could teach a few, I got a PhD for crying out loud. So, but it really wasn't even about none of that content though. It was about the connection with the students, how to create engagement. And when I was living in Atlanta, I was getting paid a couple of times as a consultant on how I would go into alternative school settings and help show the teachers how to create more engagement using their own lesson plans. And so I already knew I had the talent to connect with those kids. Plus, I've always been a coach of football and basketball in the hood for Pop Warner and all. And like them kids, they love me. I love them. You know what I mean? And so in my classroom, I got my platinum plaque on one side of the whiteboard and then my PhD plaque on the other side of the whiteboard so they can see their mamas and them know who I am. So when they go home and they come back the next day, yo, Mr. Bright, my mama know you. Mama, I was like, I know, you know what I'm saying? So it's just a whole dynamic of me in there. And I'm able to like get to them in ways that most teachers can't. Plus, I really care about my students. Like I really give a shit. And they can feel that too. I'm helping them all out on little sidebars and shooting some of them some little money because I know they ain't eating and, doing little things that you do as a teacher. Like most people don't realize that that's your main job part. And but I was able to articulate a lot of the concepts to them on the content part that they had never gotten articulated to before. And I had them doing some work, you know what I mean? And so it was just a good thing. I think I have a gift for it. And it's fun. And I have a heart for those kids coming in that are underdogs, that got in there, not because they're bad. Some of them are just kind of off the hook. But a lot of them just got caught being kids. But the other ones who didn't get caught still in the regular population of school. And so, you know what I'm saying? But a lot of those kids are the most honest, brutally honest, straight up, no pomp and circumstance, and they real. And that energy, even though I'm a grown man and they kids, that energy of somebody in your presence that's human, that's actually authentic and real, I love that. And so people are like, you ain't scared of them? Wow, man. Matter of fact, them cats in there be telling Mr. B, man, let me know somebody, you know what I'm saying? They be the main ones that want to go through a brick wall for me. You know what I'm saying? I don't never have no problem with them. It'd be the administration, if anybody, that be mad at my teaching style or how, because I do stuff that ain't really,
in
the book. But for that population, man, you can't be all in the book. You gotta keep it a buck with them. Like,
and they need somebody like that because I did alternative school and like most.
And it worked, bro. I loved it. The kids responded to me well. I ain't never have no issues with that kind of stuff ever. And I'm talking about these kids was in there for trafficking and for, a lot. The main thing a lot of them in there for, besides the vape pens and the weed, is a lot of them like to steal cars, stolos, especially kids, because they're so easy to steal because of the little USB thing. But they be in there and they be getting caught, just trying to live a fast life, whatever. But after a while, they start having a self-fulfilling prophecy and start believing that they are that. That's why I step in. Like, yo, you're going to get popped trying to do this. You need it. Let me show you what you need to. And the fact that I'm a PhD, but I still can look like this, I give an air of believability to that you can do other stuff. Because up until that point, they probably would have thought that PhD plaque that they see up there was unreachable by somebody like them. But if they see me in the classroom, I'm a hip hop type of dude. I'm doing what I do, but I'm smart and articulate. My vocabulary is limitless. I boom, 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 but I don't use it all the time because I don't feel like it sometimes. And it's real. And but I got a heart. It starts to see them, make them see themselves and see school and just see the thing in a different way. Because the main thing I teach them is paper for paper. It's game. You know what I mean? You in the game. The worst thing to do is to be in a game and don't know that you're playing. You can't win that game. But if you're in the game and you know that you got to play it, now the rules are a little different for how you gonna care. You know you got to play this game. You're in it because you're trying to win it. So now what does that look like in terms of playing the game? You know what I mean? This school thing, you got certain days you got to be here, but you don't want to be in here. You want to get past this point. You know what I mean? So you got to move a certain way to get that bare minimum to get them what they need, but you got to keep your peace of mind and do what you need. So you got to find out what, and then so that's how I talk to them. Like, you know, we talk about the content last. You know what I'm saying? We talk about the navigation of it all, the metacognitive parts, how you think about what you're thinking, and the habits of mind. And then we'll move into the content. Because by then, they'll just see the content as an extension of the game. They're trying to win the game. So now they don't look at it as somebody trying to cram something down my throat. Now they're looking at it like a bargaining chip. Oh, this lesson stuff, I rock this. They look at me a certain way. They start rooting for me. I get out of here. But then I have a good little thing on my resume. My little thing transcript is looking all right. I got some good comments from teachers that other people see that they went to bat for. Maybe I'm not so bad. Maybe I can start. Yeah, you know, that's how it works. You want people to root for you. You got to be able to boom. That's how you got to move, boom. And so that kind of stuff is what I'm doing. And then by the way, we you know, we're gonna talk about English lit today. We're gonna get into some of the Renaissance. You know what I mean? But so that's how I am in the classroom. I'm teaching total different content than what the actual, you know, lesson plan calls for.